So, what's the worst place you've ever peed?
That's a bit out of left field.
Yeah. I didn't have any time to prepare for this. Could I return it back onto you? Hey, what's the worst place you ever peed?
I don't know, to be honest. Probably my pants when I was a kid, but I remember
The
years
worst.
ago I was with a brother-in-law and we were at Wet and Wild in Orlando, and we got out of the wave pool and I was like, man, I have to pee. I was like, we need to find a bathroom. He's like, no, dude. He was like, your shorts are wet. Just let it go, man. I'm like, no, everybody will notice. He goes, I'm doing it right now. And there's just like urine just running down his legs.
You have a lot of B vitamin. It would be fluorescent orange.
Oh my god.
Man.
Or like jaundice.
He was wet and wild.
He was.
Oh, wow. Russian. You rolling there? You said you got sound?
See.
You got sound over there? Alright. And this is take one of part 2.
Oh, we're live. We're back with movie time.
We are back with movie time.
Yeah,
Welcome back, everybody.
that was the intro.
That was the intro. All right. Well,
take
here's
it.
the more movie time, Sippy Johnson.
No.
Excelsior.
Yes.
Wow.
So where did we leave off last time?
We did comedy. But I think we finished. I mean, can you ever really finish?
Being funny now. My kids would disagree. I guess we're going to step into the horror
Horror.
genre. Go for it.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
first.
what
I'm
do you
so
think?
nervous.
Do you like horror movies?
No.
Or are you a thriller guy?
No. So I put on here. It's more recent memory. Jordan Peele's Get Out. I thought was so good. It probably
I am familiar with it.
just love the script. It was probably one of the most concise scripts I've ever found. Like every single thing in it meant something throughout the whole thing. So very very tight. I would probably call it horror light.
Okay.
You want to get that?
Would you mind
Is that
silencing your
important?
phone
No, it was just
while we're recording? Thanks.
But yeah, no, I'm not really into the blood and stuff. Not so much. And the
I'm not a slasher
the
guy.
demon stuff.
Yeah,
Ugh,
no,
no
I
thanks.
like werewolf. I like the classics, and even like little twisty things like
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's great, but the M Nights, they're once again they're not.
And Night Shyamalan.
Yeah,
Horror light.
Shumaduba.
More suspense.
Yeah, more thriller, I guess. But I'm gonna throw him in with horror. I mean, but I love his storytelling. I loved all his old stuff. And
Old
even
stuff. That was old was one of his new ones.
yes, old stuff.
It was pretty good.
Yeah,
good.
it was good.
Not like his other movies.
You thought it was better?
I don't want to spoil it,
Okay.
so I can't say anything.
I feel like he had a bit of a rebound. Like he had a lull in his. Did you attribute that to something where he was great? When
Oh
he
yeah, we
first
were
came
talking
out?
about that earlier. Yeah, like I'm not like I guess all directors really they're really good at some point, and then their movies become kind of blah. And so he kind of like slowly died out as a director, and then he did one. What was it? It was the guy with the split with the multiple personalities.
Oh yeah.
He got that one was really big. It was like the biggest movie he'd ever had.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know that.
Like
Bigger
the-
than like Sixth Sense.
Well, I mean, it made the more money than
Okay,
anything else.
gotcha.
So yeah, but.
You know, I've never seen it.
Inflation and more people to watch. it.
Right. But what he did differently with that is he fired like all his typical like cinematographer and his writer and everything. And
break the mold.
Yeah, he just got like 25-year-old like first movie ever, and it did really well. It was really good.
Interesting. Do you remember Avatar by him?
But no, I think that was his lowest point.
Yeah, I would say.
Possibly.
Some would probably say Lady in the Water, but I actually like Lady in the Water. It was not
Yeah.
a bad movie.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, especially workout guy
Oh yeah. He
The
only
one
worked
guy.
out one arm, right? Yeah.
and the great Paul Giamatti. Anyway, yeah. So
Horror, not the biggest. It's not the biggest of the genres here, and not one I seek out.
I'll tell you what, though, when I was like 7, 8 years old, I saw John Carpenter's The Thing, and that scared the shadoobies out of me. That I would have nightmares about that movie, and that was like as far as like special effects, that was a cinematic masterpiece because that was like cutting edge.
Who did you say that was by?
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter. I'm pretty sure my grandpa told me this story. initially, like when he made his first movie,
Mm-hmm.
his professor or like one of his teachers stole the movie and just put his name on it.
Are you serious?
And like, so I'm not sure what that movie's called. So that's why he says John Carpenter. The Thing, to know no one can steal it. Like that's the title.
Oh, I thought it was because there originally was a movie called The Thing. There was an old like 50s or 40s.
Maybe, but that's what
Okay.
my grandpa told me that.
Okay.
But there
So
does
he's
seem to
not
be
wrong.
that. Yeah, the horror, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You know, like why do
I
the
think because
horrors
the
put
author's
the names?
attached to it because it's a classic.
Okay.
You know. Yeah.
Should we do the next genre?
Yeah.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Let's talk about drama.
Save the drama
Drama,
for your
man.
mom.
I guess my favorite drama, which is one of my top 5 movies. Like you said yesterday, there's 300 movies in my top 5, and your top 5.
Yeah, at least. The top 5 is really crowded.
It is very crowded. Whiplash.
Whiplash.
Ooh, a drama.
Yeah, and I don't even like jazz, but that movie's just phenomenal.
That's a good point. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why can't they just play the right note with jazz? I would have thought if you had Whiplash and Rocky, that Rocky would have had more blood in it. But Whiplash had more blood in it.
It did, actually. You would
You're right.
have thunk.
Yeah.
That's,
Drama.
yeah. I've never seen that before in my life.
What's that? Rocky?
No,
Or blood.
Have you ever like seen somebody playing guitar like on stage and they just start shooting blood out?
No. But yeah, I guess the blisters and then
I guess, yeah.
What made that movie good?
With J.K. Simmons just alone, I think he's just so dynamic, and I think it was more so that he proved himself in that, and he was just so beaten down by that guy, and when he actually came back to actually kind of screw him over, though, I don't know, spoiler alert, he did his thing, and that's when his mentor that he kind of hated and loved at the same time, saw him for how great he actually was, and I think that's how great his mentor knew he could be. And I thought that was just beautiful.
Was that movie based on a true story?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
not that I know.
That'd be cool enough.
JK.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Simmons.
That's right. And it's funny, when I first saw it come out, I was like, ooh, Whiplash, that sounds like a cool action movie. And then I saw the drum set, I was like, what is that? And
Yeah, it's a classical song.
Yeah, exactly. Which
The
it did.
War.
The War.
Kevin Costner, Elijah Wood, a young Elijah Wood,
I think I remember
make
that.
you cry and
Is
a
it?
lot of points in it.
Yeah.
And Kevin Costner has a couple of lines in it that just great words for life. That'll stick with you.
Okay.
Like I would, when you're in a chill mood, just
Right, I'll check it out.
check out The War.
How about you?
I can't think of anything specific. I'm sorry.
That's okay. What is the saddest movie you've ever seen?
Saddest.
I've only ever watched Braveheart. I'd put it up there as one of the greats.
Yeah.
But I think I've only ever watched it once.
Biting your hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Braveheart, you want? I've definitely watched it once. I think I've seen bits and pieces over the
can't-
years.
I can't muster the strength to watch it
Yeah.
again because it's just like it's pretty heart wrenching.
Yeah. It is pretty. Yeah.
Mel Gibson's pretty good at doing the crying and the screaming and the pain, the anguish. Like he's one of those, you feel the pain when he feels the pain.
Especially like Lethal Weapon 2.
Did you see him as Santa?
The the Santa, yeah, that was pretty cool.
The Santa?
He did. What is it? Was it Bad Santa?
No,
No.
That's Billy Bob Thornton.
What is it called?
Mm,
It's like a grungy, like it's like an action movie, but it's Mel Gibson as Santa Claus, and he's like fighting this guy who doesn't believe in Santa Claus.
it was somebody put a hit on him.
Oh, that's right.
This
a kid
kid-
didn't get
this
presents,
kid
and he
didn't get what
puts
he
a hit
wanted.
on Santa Claus.
I've never seen this movie. And I want to say it sounds familiar, but I can't.
Probably one of the best Christmas movies. Of
Fat Man.
The decade.
It's called Fat Man.
Fat
No
Man. That's
way.
right.
Yeah.
I am going to watch that tonight.
Fat Man, IMDb. It's that guy. I can't think of his name right now, but he has all the teeth. So when he smiles, he's like
William Devane?
full on teeth.
Gary Busey?
Walton
Goggins.
Oh, I love Walton Goggins.
Skinny man.
Oh,
He's
a
like the
great
hired.
actor.
He's the hired man to come and kill him.
Really weird movie.
I gotta check it out. Did you ever see Justified with Timothy Olyphant and Walton Goggins? Good
No, I know who
series.
you're talking about. I
Really
mean,
good
Timothy
series.
Olyphant, man, he can
He's
do
good.
some.
He has like women's hips though.
I wasn't looking at his hips.
No, it was like when he was wearing Boba Fett's armor and the Mandalorian. He walks in and you didn't know who he was. I was like, "There's a female wearing Boba Fett stuff."
Ooh.
He's just got really slim build.
Timothy Olyphant, birthing hips. Yeah.
Checks out.
It checks out.
Drama? Any other last thoughts?
I'm sure there's a ton out there. I mean, then we start slipping back into war movies and things like that, which I didn't touch on last time. Was like Fury, amazing drama.
Oh yeah, we watched that recently.
That's so good. What that slips into the war movies, but whatever. So, any more like drama war movies, anything like that? What do you got?
So you think the war movie would fit into the drama?
I think so, more so. If it's an actual portrayal of events that happen, I think it is considered a drama. There's not very many action war movies. If so, then they're fiction.
What's the one with Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins, and they're like out west? They move out west. And
Legends of the Fall.
Legends of the
That's
Fall.
a cool movie.
So there's war in that. So that's a drama.
That's absolutely drama.
Fits into it. Brad
Yeah.
Pitt had his Pert Plus hair. Remember
He
the Pert
did.
Plus?
I'm so jealous. Just
I'll have to see that. I don't know.
had
What that is.
Aiden Quinn. I think it was, and the brother was Elliot. I think from E.T., the third brother that
think
died in
you're
the
right.
war.
Yeah.
And
Spoiler alert.
Isn't that when like Brad Pitt went over there, started cutting everybody's hearts out for killing his brother?
Was that the one?
Yeah, he went all
Savage.
like bananas. Yeah, he went. Yeah, that's a good movie. That's a really good movie. The ending, one of the weirdest endings ever, though. You don't remember?
No.
Have you seen it?
No.
So long ago.
Yeah, because whatever he
Came
had
out in 92
so
or
much
something?
loss. Everybody died. I think he ends up making amends with Aiden Quinn's character, his older brother, and then it ends like with a fade out of him like wrestling a grizzly bear.
Oh yeah. It's weird.
1917. Did you see that?
I did.
That was really.
It was good.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
good. It was better than
Coming
Dunkirk.
Age. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Illusion of one shot.
And definitely a drama.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's a war movie necessarily.
Yeah, it was.
It's a lot
Even
of
though it was, but yeah, it was.
walking and talking.
It wasn't an actiony war movie. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if you've ever seen Thin Red Line. Like even Apocalypse Now drama, not an action movie.
Yeah.
But that was that and what did I say? Apocalypse Now and Full Metal Jacket.
Who?
That's a brutal.
So I know you've been begging to get into the rom-coms.
Oh, I
That's
know. Josh
favorite.
loves the rom com.
For sure.
Rom-com
Oh my
queen.
gosh.
I mean, if there's
I mean,
one
it's
thing
a
that I
Friday
like
night.
more,
I feel like I should get some popcorn and put my oversized shirt on with my underwear and sit on the couch and watch a rom com.
the perfect night. Rom com or just straight up rom. I like rom as well so much.
Yeah. Wasn't that a movie with Jeff Daniels? Or no,
Rom?
Jeff Bridges. No, it was Tron.
No. Who's at the door? Come on in. Come on in.
We have a special guest. What would you say is your favorite? Obviously, I don't think many of us at this table.
Romantic comedy.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah, not
for our English speakers.
one of my top 5 of my 300 favorite movies.
Yes.
My top 5 would be That Thing You Do.
It's a good movie.
Is that a rom com? I'm not sure. It's got some funny. It's got some rom in it.
When's the last time you were kissed really well?
Brad Paisley in the summer. I don't know.
Dave Gamble Garden, 1961. New
Whoa,
Year's
is
Eve.
that really?
Yeah.
You know the name, huh? You're talking gibberish.
No, it really is. I promise. It's one of those lines that I always remember.
I know you really appreciate Steve Zahn. In that movie.
Yeah. Well, there were
Oh,
so
yeah.
many. Even Ethan, what's his name from Dutch, was in that. He's the one that I'm talking about. Dutch with.
Was he the
Ed
bass
O'Neill.
player?
He was the one that went in the Marines.
Yeah, the bass player.
Okay.
Which he isn't even credited with a name in that movie.
Are you serious?
He's either the bass player or TB player. That's his name.
Yeah. There were a lot of big names in that.
Yeah.
And Skeech, he was not a small time actor.
He went on to do a little bit of sitcoms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was a guy named Tom Hanks in it too.
Thanks,
Yeah.
T. Hanks.
He wrote like a lot of the music in it.
Oh,
as
did he
well.
really?
Yeah.
So yeah, rom-coms. You got your Adam Sandler's. I don't know if you remember the 50 First Dates and
Great movie.
yeah.
First time I ever heard that Over the Rainbow song by Iz with the Israel Hokamakaduku Waka Waki. Somewhere over the. I can't sing anymore. We might get
Oh, it's like a
copyright
Hawaiian
strike.
version.
Oh, yeah.
The
oh,
Rock
great.
sings it in Journey to the Mysterious Island.
Yeah.
Does he really?
Do you remember that?
Family movies.
I don't.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Are we gonna do that later? Family movie.
We should
Yeah.
Okay.
put it in there. All right. Since we tapped on Adam Sandler, what's your favorite Adam Sandler? movie? Shabba-doo.
Favorite Adam Sandler? Oh, just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think Happy Gilmore. The first time I saw that was just like I'd never seen anything like it.
It was.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I didn't know what I was about to watch.
I watched it. I had the VHS and I wore that thing out. It was, yeah, that was good. It's either that for me or I love something about the Water Boy. I love.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so quotable.
You could say that's a rom com.
You could / sports movie.
Oh, another sports
Yeah,
movie.
that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Remember that time Bobby Boucher came back and won the
The Bourbon Bowl. Have you ever seen his movie, which is kind of a drama comedy, a dramedy? Is that a thing? If not, I just invented it.
Yeah.
A trademark.
Maybe. Yeah, trademark.
The Cobbler.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a cool movie. It's weird and it's really cool. I recommend. It's not,
No, I saw it. Is that the one where some of his friends are in it and Steve Buscemi's in it as well? Is that?
And he gets he has a temper.
I think
Yeah.
No. I think
Every Adam
I think,
Sandler
yeah, all of them. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. No, actually, I do remember.
He does
seeing
this?
it. Yeah. Habadoo.
What would you say his worst movie is?
I never saw Little Nicky, but because everybody said it's his worst movie. What do you think?
Ridiculous Six is pretty bad.
They had a
It's
great
pretty bad.
one scene. I mean,
Is that where
one scene?
Tyler Lautner when he says that?
Yeah, he comes out of Rob Schneider comes out of nowhere, and you just have to fast forward to that one spot.
Oh, I
on
know what you're
Netflix.
talking about with the.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it because it's like where he takes out the
You're
the
right.
villain
You are
in it.
right. Harvey Keitel, ironically.
Harvey
Who
Keitel,
was
yep.
also in Little Nicky. He was the devil, I believe.
He has some loyalty there.
Well, I was going to say a new favorite Adam Sandler movie for me is I adore Hubie Halloween. It's hilarious. It's just a throwback.
1 year old.
Yeah.
Like this month.
It's
1 year old.
it's a throwback to classic Sandler.
The thermos that does everything.
Yeah, that's right. But I have an idea though. I just thought of this earlier when we were not on camera. Do you remember what I call cheese horror? Like Gremlins, not Goonies. What was it called? The ones that came out of the toilet.
The ones you add water to, and
Well, that was Gremlins. Then there was Ghoulies. Do you remember Ghoulies? And there was
No.
Critters. Do you remember? It was like an mid to late 80s thing. They had all these little like critter horror
sounds
movies,
familiar.
which I think then spawned like Child's Play and that stuff. And it was kind of like campy, kind of like
Yeah. Well, there's an entire studio, Asylum Films, I think is what it's called.
Oh, is that what
And
it is?
They did like Sharknado and all those. And
Well,
like,
that's like new cheese horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Well, are they
excel
the
in
ones
that.
did they do Sharknado or did they do like the really bad ones like
instead of Pacific Rim, they did Atlantic Rim, things like that.
what is it Shark Octopus or Bear Sharktopus or
Sharktopus.
remember all those that came out Mecha Shark
Yeah,
versus like
they're all Asylum
prehistoric
films.
shark. They are okay.
Asylum Films, they get the movie shot as quick as like every day you save is how much money you save. So actors get one take on it. That's why actors look terrible on it.
Wow.
They're just like, all right, they get the one line out and they're like, that's a wrap for today, and that's it, and they move on.
I showed you the trailer for Jurassic Shark. What was
Yeah.
it called? Aquapocalypse or
It's
something
so
like
bad.
that. That's worse, but it's so bad it's good.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, cheese horror. But that leads me to my next subject: romance. Segue.
Wait,
I don't have much to add here.
I got really, other than Return to Me.
I saw every single Twilight episode or movie
Yeah.
in the theaters because I think it always came around to like a Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
and so that was I was a dutiful husband. That's what we did.
You're a better man than me. That's I can't stand like those Jane Austen movies or Little Women.
How many versions of Little Women is there?
There's like 35. There are like 35. And same with Jane Austen. The fact that they made, what was it, Pride and Prejudice versus Zombies. Have you seen that?
No.
If you're gonna watch a Jane Austen movie, watch that one.
Okay.
Foreign film.
This is where it's like, at what point is it foreign?
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz.
Yeah. I mean, those are great foreign films.
Yeah, but I think like Dr. Zhivago is like considered a foreign film.
Lord of the Rings would be my.
Is that foreign?
No, it's made in New Zealand.
I know.
They're foreign.
How do you designate a foreign movie?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Does it because I guess like Bollywood?
Automatically in another language.
Yeah.
You should check out Bollywood and the special effects and the rip-off movies they do.
I've seen that.
They're pretty
it's
good.
Like ridiculous. It's like John Wick like on shrooms.
That's a good way. He surpassed crack and just went back to shrooms.
It's
There's
weird.
gonna be a movie John Wick on shrooms. That probably. I mean, you gotta run that franchise into the ground somehow.
Well, what? This last one was called John Wick 3. What was it called?
I don't know. I mean, that he ran out of weapons. He just started using the rear legs of a horse in one of the scenes where he just starts just kicking people.
No, but it was
the back of the horse. He'd slap it.
but what's it called? It's a 9mm. What's that round called?
Beretta?
No. It's like
I don't
something
know.
Bellum.
I don't know. Guns that well.
It's something Bellum. Something Bellum. I can't remember what it's called.
Cerebellum?
No, it's something. Can I look it up real quick?
Yeah.
All right, hang on a second. Because it's going to lead into something funny. 9, John Wick 3.
Should I fill the dead air?
Sure.
Okay, so what I'm seeing so far.
It's called John Wick 3 Parabellum.
Okay.
So if you did shrooms, you could do John Wick 4 Portobello.
Oh, because it's a mushroom.
Yeah.
And it's a 9mm. Man, that's a niche market who's going to get that joke right there. But good job.
Thank you.
I
Lots of effort
appreciate
on that one. Sci-fi.
Who knows what take this is, but, you know, it's a take.
You guys want to talk about some sci-fi fantasy?
Sci-fi
My favorite,
fantasy.
number one.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Because you could classify a lot of like even MCU under there. You know, space movies, Lord of the LTR, RB,
Yeah.
VRB,
Anything on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So much of that.
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Good
fun.
stuff. I have fond memories of Lord of the Rings because we used to, a couple other people and I, for 3 Christmases in a year, like
Mm-hmm.
in December we would go every
Oh, yeah.
December and watch the 3. It was good memories.
2001, 2002, 2003.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so.
You'd watch all 3 of them at the same time?
No, sir.
Oh, okay.
No.
Every Christmas time it come
Right,
come
right,
around.
right.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
November,
right, that's
December
right.
they
I forgot.
released them.
I think
yeah.
they did that with the Hobbit movies too, which
Did
were
they? I
not as
never-
good, but you know. it's
There
cool.
was a lot of
Sorry.
embellishing in those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't stick to the books.
Did not stick to the books.
Christopher Nolan fits in there, right? All his movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Favorite Christopher Nolan movie?
Did we ever talk?
I don't know.
We
Did we
talked
talk
about
about
this
this?
already. I mean, when I think of sci-fi, Interstellar.
Yeah. For me, Inception.
Yeah.
And then maybe Tenet after
Thanks.
that.
Tenet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Memento? Does that? I'm trying to think. There's not a sci-fi thing in that. It's literally.
Nah,
it's
it's
just
more like drama.
It's just like interestingly told.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
his usual time stuff. He
right,
just
right.
tells it backwards.
Yeah, it's
away.
more of a psychological
Yeah.
time.
I do really like that one.
It is a good
But if we're thinking of or not, we're doing fantasy.
Yes.
If we're thinking of fantasy or Inception, I guess.
It's just so well done.
Yeah.
So well done.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, DiCaprio.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt had
Yeah,
the best scene.
I love him. Oh, with
in
that was
the
real.
hallway scene.
You know that they built that and it was rotating.
Oh, yeah,
he was
it was
doing
rotating.
that. That's crazy.
Actually,
Gary
yeah.
Page is in that.
So good.
Oh, it's amazing. Did I say Tom Hardy already? And the guy from Godzilla, Let Them Fight.
I don't know who's that. Which one is
He
it?
was the Asian gentleman that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name in that, but
He's
and even
one
the
on-
wife that perished, she was somebody famous. I can't remember. Was she in Dark Knight Rises? Right.
Oh yeah,
She
you're
was
right. Yeah.
Al Ghul's daughter.
Christopher
Oh.
Nolan's pretty loyal to his
He is very
actors.
loyal.
It
Yeah.
seems like that. Because
There's a lot of directors.
Prestige?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean,
That's a
it's
good
in
one.
there. Might be my favorite.
It might be my favorite. That's
Well told.
That's
Because you have Batman versus Wolverine, and you still have Alfred in there,
Yep.
and Black Widow is in
Black
it
Widow
as
yes.
well.
Yes.
Which
yes.
brings you into the Marvel universe. Man, that's a great segue. Did you see that one?
I love MCU. Favorite MCU movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a good
First
choice.
one.
Solid choice.
Yeah, Chris Pratt is pretty great.
Yeah, second one's just
No?
they call it number 2 for a reason.
Still good. I get it.
It's not bad.
He's a
It's just
pooper.
it's a typical sequel.
Okay.
Yeah.
More of the same. Where
Yeah.
they just laugh
Yeah,
at
it's
their
kinda,
own jokes.
You feel like
in
you're
it.
almost like watching like if it's kind of like you ever watch Twins with was it called Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger?
that was it.
Guardians
Oh,
1
yeah.
was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Guardians 2 was Danny DeVito.
The discount.
Yeah.
Did you see them in the Jumanji movie?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Weren't they both in that?
Yeah, and then Jumanji 2.
Jumanji
Yeah.
2?
Yeah.
That was
They
pretty
were-
great.
yeah,
with
it was-
Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
They were great.
Just Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't in it though. That
Oh
was-
no!
Yeah,
I-
he was talking about
I was
Danny
thinking,
DeVito and-
no, who? Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
Who am I thinking?
The
Danny
Rock?
DeVito.
Well, The Rock has taken the mantle of the
Right.
supreme action star.
Yeah.
So, I give
Safe
you
to
that.
say.
Say it.
But
Oh,
no,
absolutely.
who is that in that movie? It's Danny DeVito, and then it's
Danny Glover.
Donald Glover.
No,
not
Danny
Donald
Glover.
Danny Glover.
From
Danny Glover.
Die Hard.
I wish it was Donald Glover.
Riggs, I'm getting too old for this. Wouldn't it be
Always
great if
good.
Donald Glover remade Murtaugh from?
Oh yeah, that would-
Right, right.
He's like, I'm gonna do this on the sole premise that we have the same last name.
You know what? All right, so let's just play a game here. If Donald Glover was the new Murtaugh in a remake of a movie of
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon, thank you. Who would be your Riggs?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I have one.
Chris Pratt.
He would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
why not?
I was gonna say because
You have to be a little crazy, right? Wasn't he just a little
He's
crazy?
a little crazy.
He was just a little crazy.
But because I have such a because I wish I looked like him. What's his face from Down to Earth? I can't think of his name.
Down to Earth. What's his face? Should I Google what's his face
From Down to Earth, Zac Efron.
Down to Earth.
While you Google that, Chris Pratt is the new Mario. This is a little topical. Have you seen that?
Like Mario Brothers.
He's playing Mario in Mario Brothers.
I think that's appropriation. I don't agree with that.
It's-
It's not Italian.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's a me.
And I think it's Jack Black as Bowser. So I don't know. It could be good.
So I have a
See what
question
happens.
though, which it's been an internet debate,
Mm-hmm.
and they're called the Mario Brothers, so that means their last name's Mario, right?
Yeah, Mario, and Luigi Mario.
Maybe it's like a
Automatically.
legal. They're brothers, so it's not married. I don't know.
Were we talking about favorite Marvel movie?
Mm-hmm.
What's yours?
Guardians.
And then yours?
Ragnarok. It had to be Ragnarok. Followed up by the Infinity War Endgame, and then probably then after that, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yeah, they say that's a lot of people's favorites. Endgame and Infinity War, I feel like not in that order. It's so good, but at the same time, it stood on the shoulders of what was it, 20 other movies or so.
I agree.
Or
I
so.
agree. It was
so
kind
it's
of like the climax.
How many
Yeah.
Marvel movies are there?
I think there's 22. Well, now there's probably 24.
Produced the films Iron Man, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, and
that's
others.
not the answer we were looking for,
No.
I guess.
Because now
Google,
you have Black Widow.
failed
It
us.
used to be 20 to 22. Now there's Black Widow.
Yeah. Well, and then Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home
That's right.
came
Is
out
that-
after Endgame. So
I don't think that's MCU though, is it?
100%.
It's still Sony.
It's still MCU. It's entirely in
It's
the story.
kind of a blend. It's definitely a blend.
You wouldn't count it? So, I mean, we would have to go back and just say, is Spider-Man,
I
was it
think so.
Homecoming? Is
Home-
not?
I would consider Homecoming an MCU blended movie. I
mean,
would consider Far From Home a Sony movie.
I don't think you're wrong, but it's still part of the whole MCU story.
But wait a second. You know what? I
have
take that back.
Happy
they're
and
both
you have-
blended. You're right because Samuel Jackson and Colby, whatever Smolder was. In.
Yeah.
And so were the Skrulls for that matter.
Skrulls.
So I'm gonna call that a sure whatever.
It's still, they're going
It
to
is
count
MCU.
it.
It is.
It's a count. Civil War would be mine.
It's a good movie.
I thought it was going to be really dark going into it, and it might be the funniest. You know, Ragnarok was arguably the funniest, but Civil War was really funny. Paul Rudd, he stole the show in Civil War.
Need some orange slices.
Anyone have some orange slices? What? I don't get the reference there.
Orange slices?
Yeah.
Oh, it's because he would exert so much energy being giant man that he needed like the potassium.
It was all about the team though. Like there's it's you're in baseball and little
Oh.
league, and there's like a team mom or
The
something.
mom brings
and he's
orange
like, because of the
slices. Yeah,
teams were
that's
going
right.
against each other. Yeah, it's just Paul Rudd being
Oh, okay.
Paul Rudd.
25 films
25.
as of right
So
now.
far.
So far.
There's 31 coming.
So 23 might have been in Endgame.
Yeah.
22 Infinity War.
You know, it's funny. It used to be like, we should watch Lord of the Rings this week and have a marathon. That's like 9 hours. Can you imagine doing a weekend of freaking Marvel?
Man.
Can you do it in a weekend?
You could.
You gotta throw in episodes now.
Pretty close to 48 hours. I think you go over, right?
You gotta throw in
50 hours?
WandaVision.
Well,
You
that's
gotta throw in.
Yeah, you could do it. It'd have to be like Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
To
Hold on a second. Are you forgetting the TV shows as well?
Yeah,
The
that's
Disney
true. It's
Plus
like
shows.
8 hours.
That's true.
apiece,
Oh, that's
6
no,
hours.
you couldn't do it on a weekend.
No.
Which Loki? Perfection.
Really good.
Perfection.
Dialogue.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is there a better?
Owen Wilson.
Oh yeah. Mobius.
Ciao.
Could you? wow. Wow. Wait. Just when I was starting to trust you.
Uh-huh.
So good.
Loki. Wow.
So did you guys find it weird that Loki loved Loki?
I don't know. They did a good job. There was a female.
Top 3 Lokis in that show.
Loki, and then the girl, and then
Loki.
I don't know. The only one I remember is the alligator one.
That's my 3. That's my 3. Alligator. He ripped that guy's arm off. He ripped Loki's arm off.
He did.
Who's the older guy? The one that played
Oh, the
like,
original?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually a very established actor. He did a great job. He was like the comic book Loki.
He's actually in those British movies. I always forget the title. You told me last night. The trilogy of movies.
Oh,
British
the
movies?
Cornetto?
Yeah, Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in all 3 of those.
Is he Who is he?
I have to look
in
it
Hot
up.
Fuzz, he'd have to be one of the cops, right?
He's like the head cop, I think. He's like
Okay.
the one who fires Simon Pegg at the beginning of the movie and like sends him out into the.
I thought it was Bill Nighy that fired him.
Let me.
That was, what do you
Could
call
be.
it, Davy
But
Jones?
no, I've definitely seen him before.
He's Simon Pegg's dad in Shaun of the Dead.
That's Bill Nighy.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
what?
So who am I thinking?
And the cop?
You're talking about classic Loki and Loki?
Yeah, who is that?
That's not Bill Nighy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or
It's
something
okay. It's alright.
I'm sorry.
There's a lot of them out there.
Of actors.
Yeah.
Now I got to know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Somebody
Yeah,
give me
I'm
some
gonna-
filler.
I'm
Give
gonna
me
look
some
it up.
filler.
I'm looking it up. Okay. Maybe.
No, don't even worry about the filler.
No. I want to fill. Let's fill this up.
Fill it up.
Yeah. No, that's the guy. That's the guy.
Let me see.
No, that's not him.
Bill
That's-
Nighy is the dad.
Richard E. Grant.
Richard E. Grant. I'm looking it up.
Or I'm gonna show you Shaun of the Dead.
Richard
I'd never seen
E.
him before.
Grant.
Because Bill Nighy was he
has
was Davy
140.
Jones. Yeah, right here. Bill Nighy. Where'd he go? This guy. He was the father.
Guys, I got
Oh,
it.
you're
Richard E.
right.
Grant is from the Loki TV series.
Oh,
Thank
Loki
you,
TV series.
Professor.
Is that the Marvel one?
He's in Star Wars.
Yes,
He was General Pride. He was in Logan. He was Dr. Rice.
Oh wow,
Logan, that was a good movie.
that very good movie.
About
that's what I was
Time.
gonna
He
bring
was
up.
was he the dad? He was the dad in About Time.
What's about time?
They're like genetically able to like move through time, and like the dad was, and then the guy who's like the red-haired guy in the newer Star Wars movies, who's like one of the
Is that a romance?
Oh, you're talking about
Is that from the romance category?
Love Actually and Notting Hill.
Are you talking about
There
Gerard
he is.
Butler?
That guy? He's in Star Wars.
He does look like Bill Nighy.
He does.
Yeah.
Same haircut.
Yeah. Right.
Are we moving on now?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this question: what did you think of the Wolverine? Did you like that movie?
The Wolverine, is
Or-
that the one where he goes to Japan?
Yes. Or let me ask you this question: what's your favorite movie with Wolverine in it?
Probably X-Men, just because it was the first one. It
Really?
was just like, oh man, this guy's the coolest of cools.
It was a cool.
Deadpool.
What?
I think he's on a cereal box.
He's on the magazine that he had stapled to his face.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman was.
Oh yeah. You're right.
I mean, I thought they were all good. Even the one that back in the 70s or whatever.
That's
one,
probably my favorite.
the origin
Days
one.
of Future Past. That was really good.
No, there was one before that, Origins. It was good in the 70s. It was just Wolverine Origins or something like that.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, that's it. Good
You're
job.
talking about with Leif Schreiber as Sabretooth.
Exactly.
The critics hate that movie, and it's got some qualities that I like because you get to see Gambit, you get to see
You saw
the
Deadpool
Blob.
the first time.
Yeah.
Nobody likes him. Yeah, I don't like him because he's not.
But
Deadpool.
if it weren't for that movie, you probably never would have gotten the Deadpool that we love.
No, that's true.
That was not the Deadpool we deserved. That was the Deadpool we
Ooh,
needed.
good reference. You did a crossover
I
from
did.
Marvel to DC.
I did.
That was the nerdiest thing all night. That was so good.
But even the Wolverine, a good solid movie. But I just hated it because for 80% of the movie, he had no powers. And he's just running around and like, I'm so tired and old. It's like, that's me getting out of bed in the morning.
Let's watch a movie about a normal guy. Let's call it Normal Guy.
Yes, Normal Reed.
Normal Reed.
But despite that, I think it might be my favorite one with Wolverine. In it.
The Wolverine?
No, you were talking about the last one.
Logan.
Logan, yeah.
Logan,
yeah.
yeah, I think that was. And then once again, not full power.
Has his powers just.
I mean, he's
they're
got like
just
pus
slowed down.
pouring out of him.
Old age.
Once again, I do that every morning. No, I don't.
What's the next genre, guys?
I didn't know if you guys want to touch on some more MCU.
Family.
I didn't know if you guys want to touch on more MCU.
Just like. We're not going to talk about family. We can talk about MCU all
Yeah, I
day.
can talk about that all day. Family movies. I would have to say, well, given that my youngest is 16, Ready Player One. And,
Ready Player One.
I have a revelation. I know now what the greatest family movie of all time is.
What is it?
Elf.
Elf?
Man, that was my pick. Shoot.
It's like we went back in time and I
Yeah.
stole it from
Ready
you.
Player One's a little racy. That whole horror scene and everything.
That's
like
true.
that.
Naked
that's-
woman.
I guess if you're 90 and your kids are 70, I mean, yeah, it could still be a family. Your family's involved. You can watch whatever movie you want when you're 90.
Spielberg
right.
directed that, right?
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yes, he did.
He's
So many
probably
Easter eggs.
the best family movie director.
E.T.
Yeah, the Super 8. Is that his family movie?
I love Super
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
that.
But
Good call.
I mean, Goonies.
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 I don't think that's
Goonies never say die.
I don't know if that's visible in any of the cameras.
What was the word you were using before about like something like it's so important that you have to watch it? It's a fancy word you used. It was a really fancy dictionary
Essential.
word. Essential. Goonies has got to be up there. Anybody who's
It
had a
is.
childhood. Have you had a childhood?
I think so.
You've had a childhood?
I don't
Long
remember
time ago.
anymore.
Goonies.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Brolin, Thanos.
You got Thanos, Cable.
Against Samwise Gamgee.
You got Bob.
Yeah.
Samwise Gamgee. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
Data. Dr. Jones.
you
Dr.
got-
Jones.
You got Rudy.
Rudy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Dr. Jones. Yeah.
And you got one of the they all had the same names back
John
in the
Machusak,
80s.
the football player.
Oh yeah. The one they all had the same 80s names back then. They're like Christian Slater and who's the other one? He's like Mouth. Which one was Mouth? What's that actor's name?
You talking about
And the, hey you guys.
That
Then
guy
you got
was John
my
Machusak.
favorite scene in that is when the Italian, what are they called? The Fratellis?
the Fratellis?
Fratellis.
Yeah. He
And-
always plays a
And he
villain.
goes, he's like, guys, you gotta tell you, there's these horrible people, and he stops him down, and he's parked in the road. He turns on his light, and you see that it's the Fratellis, and he starts singing in Italian,
That's
and
right.
Chunk
It was spooky.
starts singing in Hebrew. At the same here, he starts praying in Hebrew as he's singing in Italian.
I don't remember that.
It's so good.
Corey Feldman is
Corey, there was all the
Oh,
Corys back then.
Corey. He was just one Corey though in that one.
He looks
You're
exactly the same.
He doesn't. He's a weird dude.
Yeah.
He's a weird dude.
He's got the hat.
He's been through some
put a
stuff
picture.
though. The Coreys went through some horrible stuff allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it's It might. Yeah,
But a lot
Tell
of
us more about this family-friendly stuff.
More movies?
No,
Or?
no, that was family friendly
Oh,
content.
you're saying
Yeah,
about
do we want to know about? But a lot of big actors came out of that.
yeah.
If you sat on a plane,
Mm-hmm.
and you you sit in your seat, and you look over, and it's like someone like a director or an actor that you really respected, or you liked what they made, what would you do?
Just from my own personal experience, that I've met 4 famous people.
Okay.
No, I've been in the presence of 4 famous people.
Okay.
Number 1, Bo Diddley. Are you
Okay.
familiar with him?
Mm-hmm.
I was at his house.
Really?
Yeah, when I was in college, I worked for UPS in Gainesville, Florida, and I had to deliver a package, a next day air package on a Saturday to his house. And I got the package and it said Bo Diddley, and I was like, is this some kind of joke? And they're like, no, it's his house out in Archer. I'm like, address? They're like, just ask people. They'll tell you where it is. And so that's why for 2 hours I hunted for this guy's house. So I drove out there in my little UPS truck, and he walks up. He's got like boots over his jeans, the cowboy hat, the glasses, and all that. And I was like, so you're him, huh? And he's like, yeah. We started talking. I was like, I have your vinyls. I was like, my dad gave them to me. I said, I just love your stuff. And he was like, thanks, man. He introduced me to his whole family. And then I gave him his package, and he signed for it. He's like, man, I just started to like you. These are my divorce papers.
Divorce.
But nicest guy in the world. Nicest guy in the world. I felt like, like he was a regular Joe. The second famous person that I met was my first job in Atlanta. I was fresh out of college. I was a graphic designer for a record company. Did record CD covers and all that stuff.
Okay.
It was a horrible paying job. But we had Crystal Bernard, remember her? From Wings.
Yeah.
She was on the label. Peter Cetera, Post, Chicago was on the label. And the wonderful and great Rick Springfield. What? And 10,000 Maniacs. So we heard that, this is in Roswell, Georgia, heard that Rick Springfield was in the house. So I'm like, whatever. I'm not, he had some good hits. I wasn't a big fan, so I had to go pee. I drank a lot of coffee back then. So I'm going to the bathroom, and I'm walking down the hall, and I see him in the hallway. But I take a right, go to the bathroom, I go to the urinal, I'm doing my business, and I hear somebody come in the door, and I hear somebody at the urinal beside me on my left. And I'm just, usually when you're peeing, you're doing your own thing, but I went, it's Rick Springfield.
You peed next to
I figured, here's the thing, though, is that I obviously finished first. I went and washed my hands. I turned around. Rick Springfield. I'm not shaking your pee-pee hands, dude. I just gave him a nod and walked out. But I think, to answer your question, long story short, or short story long, I tend to, let people do their thing. I don't want to get in their business because they probably deal with that all the time. Because I saw Evander Holyfield in Fort Lauderdale Airport, and I could have been, and I just, whatever.
But 10 hours on a flight next to them?
Okay, different story. If it were like Watiti,
yeah, sure, Taika
I
Waititi.
probably would try not to overwhelm it. I would be like, I'm a big fan. I appreciate all your work. Thank you. Yeah.
What about you?
I was in sales at one point. They always instructed you, talk shop. You got to talk shop with
But
him, so-
given you guys are film backgrounds, though, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? At the same time, you don't want to be like, this guy's like, I just been freaking 12 hours on a movie set. I just want to sleep.
Right. What would you do?
I've definitely thought about this. That's why I brought it up. I think if it was someone that I really liked or respected, I would scroll through the plane's database of movies, and I'd try to find something that they were in or they made, and I'd just give them like the showing of a lifetime.
Hopefully it's not you, Bowl.
But just laugh and cry at all the right moments, and just I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, just totally.
You'd fist bump.
And then,
hey, good job.
Yeah, I'd get up at the end of the flight and just that was pretty good. Bye.
Would you have low bones them?
Oh yeah, totally. Those bones.
So Elf would be the best family film.
I agree. That's one of those movies that I watch every year with the family. Yeah, hands down. It's a
Hasn't
necessity.
gotten old yet.
It hasn't.
The Grinch.
I don't like the Grinch.
Jim Carrey.
No? Oh,
Jim
some of his best work.
I'm not a big Jim Carrey fan these days. He's gotten too political.
Polar Express is up there as well.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
get
I've never
very,
seen it.
He did get very sad for a while there.
I'm not a big Tom Hanks fan either.
No. Politics can get in the way, can't they?
Yes, they can.
Movie you could watch over and over again.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Dude, that's what I put.
Oh, that's your. I'm sorry. I thought that was my answer.
You just need separate notes.
How many times have you seen Wreck-It Ralph?
Once.
Yeah, you could watch it over and over again.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
totally.
You're the most honest person I know.
So what's your answer?
I'd have to go with Wreck-It Ralph 2. No, probably either
Yeah.
one. Two daughters,
I've never
watched it so many times.
Really?
Can laugh.
That's like
over and
Aladdin
over.
for me. Obviously,
Aladdin.
I'm much older. Yeah.
You're just stealing his.
John C. Reilly.
He was in Aladdin?
Okay, Wreck-It Ralph.
So what's your real one?
My real one, I would have to be a toss-up between, once again, Ready Player One.
Okay.
I just, there's so many Easter eggs. in
5
that.
times in a month.
So
Five
many
times in a
Easter
month.
eggs.
It's so deep.
It's got to be the top Easter egg
Yeah.
movie of all time, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
absolutely.
there's like it's in the 200s or something. Like the,
easily.
Did you watch NBA Jam recently?
Space Jam?
Space Jam. Yeah. I was thinking the NES game. Yeah.
I'm not a LeBron fan.
Well,
and I can't.
like-
I can't. I feel like it's stomping on the legacy of Michael Jordan. And I'm a huge Michael Jordan fan.
But apparently, like, the biggest, like, flack that it got was that there were just too many characters in the background.
Oh,
Like,
really?
while you're watching the game, it's just, like, every Warner Brothers character ever. You see the mask in the background and the Iron Giant and just, like...
and it caught flack because of that.
It was just, like, everyone was like, I'm not even paying attention to the movie. I'm just watching the background. And, like,
And that's what divided people, not the most divisive NBA player ever.
Yeah.
I guess so. I guess so.
And birthday hint: one of these days, I want an Iron Giant statue for my desk about this high. I love the Iron Giant. Great family movie.
It's a good one.
Great. Harry Connick Jr., Jennifer Aniston. What's his Vin Diesel?
Is he the Iron Giant?
Yes. It was pre
I didn't know
Groot.
that.
Pre Groot.
It's interesting that they hired him for Groot.
I know, right? Even for the Iron Giant for that.
Yeah.
Who was he? then?
Completely changed what his voice sounds like. You could have put anybody in there.
Yeah.
It just says one line over and over again.
But even
But,
like
yeah.
Iron Giant, why would you hire Vin Diesel?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
His
Not
voice
that it
is
was he
already-
did a bad job. I mean,
Yeah.
not that he. I mean, I don't know. Could anybody do that? I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't even remember
Yeah, I
his
know.
lines, to be honest. But
Worst movie ever.
in theaters or ever,
Yeah, maybe. Your call. Dealer's choice.
dealers. I'm gonna say just because that's such a. I'm gonna go in theaters because when I was a kid, I loved Steve Martin. I saw The Jerk, and I was like, when I was a teenager, you know, at least that's what we did because I didn't do drugs or drink yet.
Just went to the movies.
I just went to the movies.
All
You
the
know. I
time.
made $3.35 an hour. You know, it was $2.50 for a freaking movie ticket back then. Gosh, I sound like. And then we went to the soda shop and and we played jacks outside, like John Mulaney.
You were probably late for your barbershop quartet
Yes.
practice.
Oh my gosh, I had one of those bicycles with the huge wheels on the front. But after I saw The Jerk, I saw there was a movie, Little Shop of Horrors, with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis from Ghostbusters fame, and I thought this was gonna be a great comedy. But it was basically a musical, and that's probably to this day why I think I did this last night.
Is that the one with the plant that
Yeah,
is like
Seymour.
feed me Seymour?
It was and being just because I'm so cheap that I wouldn't walk out. I rather sit there and endure this movie than walk out and waste my $2.50.
I get it. I get the $2.50. Fast forward a little further. I was at a dollar theater, so I could easily walk out.
How much
on-
was it?
So the movie was called Simply Irresistible with Sarah
Robert Palmer?
Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she was like a chef, and whatever she was feeling at the time,
Yeah.
that's what the people felt when they would start eating her food.
Oh. That's actually not a bad premise.
Ah.
Poor execution.
Yeah, I was about 40 minutes into it. I was like, had better things to do.
You wasted all your $1.
Yeah, about 60 cents.
Oh, it was $1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dollar.
yeah, you're getting that now.
He wouldn't tell me.
Well, back then it could be, up to $1.99, or it could be $1.99, and then it could still technically say still $1 theater.
Wait till they get him up with a $5 theater.
Yeah.
It's so weird now. What is it? $20 for a freaking movie ticket these
Can
days?
be.
Jeez,
Yeah.
they have loan officers out front. It's insane.
I'm
Bitcoin.
trying to think of like a bad movie I've seen in theaters. I just feel like, I mean,
You're probably wiser than your dad and I. Yeah,
I mean,
you spend
maybe-
your money wisely.
advertisement maybe is better than when in your day. I don't know. Just like what I'm saying is when I go to the theaters, I know what I'm getting.
Exactly.
Um,
I get that.
Yeah, so I mean,
Well-
I some friends took me to Fast and Furious. One of them, I can't remember which one.
Is that the one where Vin Diesel was like, family?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, I don't have anything.
You know, it's funny that you say that, you know, that you know what you're getting into is because when your dad and I grew up, when obviously I'm a little older than he was, that there wasn't a lot to do. We didn't have video games. We didn't have internet.
No
We didn't have Netflix. You know, it was like that. It was either go to the movies or
Right.
ride your
Bikes.
bike.
A lot of bike riding back then.
Yeah. So then, whenever you know you're making $3.35 an hour, you're making that big coin. You know, you just go out and you just want to spend it. You want to be a baller.
$250.
There was a huge internet story a couple weeks ago.
Oh, is this
and
about the
it's
Hunt for
involved-
October in Maine?
Nope.
Oh.
Robert Downey Jr.,
Yes.
Denzel Washington,
Yeah.
Tom Hanks,
Oh, I know where you're going.
and Leonardo DiCaprio. And it was these 4 actors. And if you had to... Do you need to get that? I'm sorry. Are we interrupting
no.
you?
Oh, it's just about my extended warranty in my car.
Okay. We got- if you had to remove one of them... So,
Tom Hanks.
Well, do you want to think about it for a
Nope.
little or
Tom
explain your,
Hanks.
your case a little longer?
Okay.
Take one of those 4. You have to remove that
All
actor
their movies.
and all their movies.
I'm sorry. DiCaprio, Inception. I'd leave it. I'd take it. Denzel.
Toy Story?
I could do it without. But trust me. Directed too?
Yeah, because that's got me with That Thing You Do. You know,
I
Tom
was
Hanks
gonna.
directed.
I
That
was
Thing You
gonna
Do.
say Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers.
Does that count?
I don't think he directed that. Did he direct
He
one of them?
had
Maybe
his fingers
one,
in that pie.
One episode. He casted it. He and Spielberg.
Is that what it was?
casted
So it doesn't
He might have
count?
directed one of them though. I think you're right.
So does that mean they're all gone?
Sure, the whole franchise is
Son
like
of a bee.
No more Saving Private Ryan.
I know.
Saving Private
Are you
Ryan.
So it's-
rethinking?
That's a
Yeah,
top
yeah.
five.
What was the fourth?
Denzel,
DiCaprio,
Hanks,
and
RDJ.
My flashlight's on.
RDJ. I mean, for me, RDJ, you'd have to remove the whole MCU.
You can't
That's
do
not
that.
happening.
Yeah, it's not happening.
No, he
That's-
saved the cinema.
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
I'm trying to think of. I mean,
Inception?
I
yeah.
know.
You gone?
But that's
With
one
Inception?
movie. It's one movie.
That's the only one.
Gilbert Grape.
I don't.
I've watched it once.
Most of the stuff
and
he's
it was
in,
brilliant.
like Wolf of Wall Street, the
I've never seen it.
Titanic.
Titanic. It's just not my genre.
It's
DiCaprio.
not- it was a brilliant
good.
movie. It was a beautiful movie. But yeah, once again, I could do without it.
What's the? There's a twofer in there because he was in with the Tom Hanks movie where he was a Catch Me If You Can.
That's right.
It's a good one.
That was a good movie.
That was fun.
Denzel, for me, he had Book of Eli, which was one of my favorites, and Deja Vu.
Deja Vu, The Equalizer, Man on Fire. I think we spoke about this last episode. Fallen.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliance. Glory.
Oh,
So I was just looking at the
Yeah.
IMDb, just going back a tiny bit. Were you guys a fan of The Revenant?
Never seen it actually.
Shutter Island?
I didn't
yeah.
care about that. Was so
Ooh,
sad.
It's rough. Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah.
I will never watch that movie
No,
ever
I
again.
wouldn't watch that one again.
Especially being a father of girls
Shh, no.
or children,
Oh,
for that matter. Yeah.
Nope. Man.
That destroyed me. That destroyed me.
Going back to
It
Deja
destroyed
Vu,
me.
though.
Yeah.
Deja Vu, I feel like I watched it with a brother-in-law, and the lights went on, the credits, we were still talking for about a half hour after watching Deja Vu, and I feel like that's really the heart of
A Somo brother-in-law or a Flo brother-in-law?
yeah, not a flow.
Okay.
So we pondered it for a very long time, and I feel like if a movie can take you to a place, I mean, isn't that the epitome of what movies do?
Yeah, that's M. Night Shyamalan. That's what he's aiming for. It's just you have to rethink everything you just watched.
What I
and,
call my candy.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to disconnect. I wanna,
If 2 weeks later you're still thinking about that movie you watched, it was probably a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It did something to you.
Yeah.
I agree. Inception. And I will say this, that my youngest, I decided to let her watch Inception with me, which I thought I was, because she would always be like, Dad, why is that guy wearing a watch? I'm like, why don't you just watch and find out? Why is that guy wearing boots? It was just question after question. And when I showed her Inception, it was like a gift for me to give to her. Watch this. You know what I mean? And it resonated with her so deeply. She said she sat up all night thinking about that movie. And to this day, Sophie, you say, Sophie, what's your favorite movie? She was Inception. And that was like, I felt like, oh, she gets me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like one of the greatest gifts I could ever give.
Touching.
Yeah.
So has she now watched all the other ones? Christopher Nolan?
I'm not sure. She's seen Tenet.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she's seen Interstellar. But yeah, and definitely not Memento. That's she's not ready for that.
Don't need to.
Yeah, that's definitely more of the R-rated of all of his movies.
Any more questions for me?
Yeah,
For me.
yeah. So who would you get rid of?
Oh,
Because I established
can you say it one more time?
DiCaprio, Hanks,
Denzel, RDJ,
RDJ.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. No. I wasn't saying that. I was just
Oh, there's about fisticuffs.
Yeah. I haven't seen as many Denzel movies.
But you should.
I liked Book of Eli.
Good movie. That's got what's her face from.
Some people say
Foundation.
Training Day is the greatest movie
Didn't
ever.
care for it.
With Denzel, so that might be on your list.
Didn't care for it.
Okay.
Listen, I'm King Kong.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I didn't like how it villainized. I need Denzel to be a good guy.
Yeah.
Oops, spoiler.
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio?
It's
yeah.
gone.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's one movie.
There. I know so many, definitely females that just like love the movies that he's in. But then he's also in a lot of just gritty stuff that I'm just like not too into.
I didn't care for The Departed.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think
spoiler alert, everybody gets headshotted. in
Yeah, I
that
know. When
movie.
there's an X, if you see an X in the background, they're gonna die. But yeah.
So yeah, Denzel. That's
Denzel's
my
out.
answer.
Wow.
Well, all right. Here's one for you right here. If you had to get rid of 2 of these,
Ouch.
are you ready?
That
Are you
hurts.
ready? Are you ready? 2 of these:
Okay.
Star Wars, Indiana Jones, MCU, or Lord of the Rings.
Star Wars is out.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, that hurts.
You want to hear
I
mine?
guess it's Indiana Jones.
No, I'm going Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. Out.
Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
Indiana Jones is just. I think it's just.
Lord of the Rings took me to a place for sure.
I get it. I get it.
I want to
but
go to New Zealand.
But Indiana Jones, he's
Yeah.
the original BA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And MCU, that's just you can't compromise the MCU.
So you didn't like the Temple of Doom, so you got it down to 2 movies.
Yeah,
Last Crusade, because the 4th one, that one's out.
but you can't base it on what is it?
Le
What is
Bouffe.
it? 9 Star Wars movies now, and
This is gonna sound nerdy.
There's 10 or 11 now.
If you count.
If you're going to Rogue
if you're-
One and the
yeah,
Solo one.
That's right.
This
Solo.
is gonna sound nerdy, but if you get rid of Star Wars, Indiana Jones technically has to go away, because Harrison Ford started in Star Wars. That's when he became big, as far as I know.
So that means E.T.'s gone too, because E.T.'s in Episode 1 of Star Wars.
Booyah.
True story. You ever see that?
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.